to answer a few questions from Eleanor regarding blood type, sweet tooth, cravings, and more. And then I will comment calories in, calories out mindset. Okay, let's start with Eleanor's questions. Your channel is interesting. Good that you found a way of eating that works for you. May I ask you some questions? 1. Have you had a sweet tooth since childhood, or do you like meat, fat, but force yourself to eat high carb, low fat? Well, since childhood, I have always liked high calorie foods, dense foods, with some exceptions, of course. So I liked pretty much everything that my parents fed me with, except vegetables and some meats. I used to love cheese, love bread, love pasta, love potatoes. I was not too much into meat, but when it was well seasoned, I liked it, like most people. Most of my meals were not super high carb, they were medium or high carb. So when I discovered the high carb low fat diet, I thought, wow, this is really interesting. I love what's sweet, I love the starches, so let's give it a try, you know. And then the more I ate like that, the less I liked the fatty foods. I lost my taste for fatty foods, eating so many carbs. Simple as that. Huh? I never needed to force myself to eat high carb low fat, but if you feel that you're forcing yourself to eat high carb low fat and that you want fatty stuff on the side, and maybe you're not eating enough carbs and maybe it's too soon, your transition has not been done. And I don't know what kind of high carb foods you even eat. Is that just potatoes? Is that brown rice? Is that quinoa? I don't know, maybe you're not eating really high carb foods. Maybe you should try the sugar or refined grains or these kind of things. Huh? Just some thoughts. So I've always liked sweet things, but in the past, when I wanted something sweet, I went straight to the chocolate. That's how I've been raised. And the problem with chocolate is I had nightmares so often and I struggled falling asleep already as a child. It was terrible. Huh? And replacing chocolate by fruit and by sugar and lots of high carb foods, it's helped so much. And now I don't crave chocolate anymore. Like if there's some chocolate that's vegan in front of me, yeah, I will give it a try because it tastes nice, but it's not healthy. So I avoid buying these things and we don't store them at home, clearly. One thing I really don't miss is meat, because I know what it is. I finally made the connection in 2008 and I have no regrets. I don't miss oil. Initially I missed cheese, but that was because I didn't eat enough carbohydrates. I was doing too much whole food stuff, and then when I was getting hungry, cheese, okay. See? Okay, second question. Do you know your blood type? Blood type diet is another interesting thing, you say. I'm sorry to break it for you, but blood type diet is a total scam. There were studies about that, and there's no proof whatsoever that blood type diet is legit. This was just a book that made lots of sales, and people love to believe in these kind of things. Now imagine a cow that thinks, okay, I'm a special cow, I have a special blood type, so it means I can eat cheese, I can eat dairy from my own tits, or I don't know, something else. Or I can eat the bread from the bakery. No, this is a cow. The cow has to eat grass. You can take other examples from other animals like cats and bears. One species, one diet. And the diet for the human species is high carb, low fat. By the way, my blood type is O negative, and when I was a child, my parents used to have this blood type chart glued on the fridge, and I found it so ridiculous. This is just another belief system that comes out of that author's magical hat. It's a scam and it doesn't help anyone. Meat, cheese, oil are good for no human because our digestive system is designed for a low fat, low protein, high carb diet. That includes fiber, of course, and enough water. And if you stray from that natural high carb, low fat diet, you will have issues no matter your blood type. I'm sorry. Third question. What do you eat when cravings occur? Meat, fats, salty, savory. Okay, that's the kind of cravings that you have, all right? Well, I really think you don't eat enough carbs. I'm saying it again. Do I ever have cravings? Yeah, I have cravings for food, and When I'm hungry, I eat bananas, rice noodles, or baked potatoes, or sweetened orange juice, or many other options. Or dates with cucumber. I really love this thing. And as I don't deprive myself from lots of carbohydrates, then I feel fine. Really, you should really try the refined carbs. So refined carbs plus whole foods that are high carb, low fat. I don't have cravings for chocolate, for meat, or anything like that, you know. Okay, let's say I'm really hungry, I'm riding far from home, and I see a vegan restaurant there, and I see, I don't know, a vegan pizza, vegan burger. Yes, I'm going to order it, especially if I'm riding a lot, because I will burn lots of fat riding like that. So I wouldn't feel too guilty for ordering a vegan cheese pizza or burger or other things. And sometimes I crave salty things, but that's when I don't eat salty things. So let's say I eat only fruit and tubers and no salt at all for, I don't know, more than 3 days. Yes, I will crave salt. And there are a few solutions. Add salt to your starches or have some celery juice, these kind of things. Okay, and then you keep writing that it led me to assume that there must be a reason for our specific preferences in diet and food choices. Yeah, of course we have preferences. But imagine a cat. Does he have preferences for small mice and big mice and gray mice and black mice? Yeah, of course, but still mice. Natural diet, physiological diet. Yeah, of course, it's your own choice. That's your free will, so you do whatever you want. Have you checked the tables of compared anatomy? That's so interesting, and it shows that we are high-carb eaters, like apes, frugivores that are also adapted to cooked starches and some green leaves. And then we can stray from that, of course, but then we'll have problems if we stray too much from that. Look at all these keto people. Initially they lie to themselves, they feel like shit, and then they keep going because the gurus out there are so convincing, it's nuts. But then these people that do keto, they start having clogged arteries, diabetes, they struggle losing weight, they don't feel so well, they cannot do intensity in workouts. I resume reading. Besides blood type, the specific metabolic type seems to play a big role, partially genetic, partially environmental caused. Or metabolic type, no. Your metabolism is the result of your food choices, mostly. And then there's the rest of the lifestyle, of course. The concept of metabolic type is another scam that's very popular out there. And of course, there's some genetics that can play a role, like the color of your skin, of your hair, the size of your calves, of your boobs, etc. There's some genetics, but I believe strongly that everyone can have a healthy BMI if they have the proper human diet. Then you say not everyone can eat lots of sugar or meat or fat like some keto people. What do you mean can? You mean choose. Everyone can eat sugar. Our digestive system is designed for sugars, no matter if it comes from fruit, potato, sweet potato, pasta, rice. Okay, you give me an example. A person eats sweet fruit, carbs, etc., with low, no fat, but instead of being satiated, he has extreme cravings for salty, fatty foods afterwards. Okay, you're talking about yourself. I think you're not eating enough carbohydrates. You need to calculate your calories in that case. You probably eat way too little. And of course you crave salty, fatty foods, and then you're going to jump on, I don't know, French fries or peanut butter. I have no idea what you like. Maybe you eat cheese or meat, I don't know. And then you say this is not the diet for human beings, but it is. You just don't eat enough. And the problem with today's fruit is that they are not that sweet. The soils are getting poorer, and all varieties of fruits are not sweet enough. Like if you want a sweet apple, get a red one. Don't get a green one, for example. Or if you try to eat, I don't know, salads, that's not enough. Of course, then you'll be so hungry after a salad. I mean, salad is fine, but you need more than that. Then you say, according to metabolic typing, this person would be a protein fat type. No, I don't believe in it. And then you say, these are normally people that have northern ancestry, cold climate, and need a very rich diet with animal protein, fats, and high purine foods and less carbs. You mean high protein foods? No, that's dogma, that's Well, imagine we take, I don't know, a parrot from Africa and you put it in Greenland. It will not thrive there. Yeah, okay, it can survive on the wrong foods for some time, but it will die young and have health issues. And people that do high fat and high protein have health issues. Check the big nutritional studies. They all prove that. Or if you find some small studies with no control group and bad quality studies with a dishonest design, yes, you could find studies that prove that adding lots of fat could be good, but that's dangerous. Don't be deceived. Then you say carb types, on the other hand, can eat lots of fruit, veggies, starches, and low-fat meals and feel very energized. Mostly warm climate ancestry. Okay, so I'm come from the Scandinavian woman, come from warm climate according to your to this type belief. No, our ancestors are initially black. They come from the warm countries, and then for some reason we went nuts and going way too far to the north and had non-ideal foods to survive on. But do you want to survive or do you want to thrive? Now, this kind of belief is dangerous. It makes people malnourished and fat and depressed. Then you say, and then there are mixed types that can eat from both worlds. Well, I'm not interested in being any of the mixed type or fat type. No thanks. It is just interesting to me because it seems that there is no one-fit-all diets. That's a very individual thing. No. Preference is individual. Like, are you going to prefer the black grapes rather than the green grapes? I don't know, maybe. That's preference. But whether you like it or not, you have frugivore that has starch options on top of that. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. There's someone on my channel that keeps commenting that I create a calorie deficit with exercising. Dude, I know how to count calories. I have a power meter on my bike. It tells me exactly how many calories I burn when I upload it on Strava. On the computer, I can see the exact amount and I know how much I burn on my workout. Every time I track my calories on chronometer, and I know how to do it very well with accuracy, I eat always more than what I'm supposed to burn. Like a surplus of 500 kilocalories, or in some cases a surplus of 1,000 calories, and it's fine, I don't store it. If you don't believe me, I have made a playlist of 31 days. You're going to find the longest playlist on my channel. I added 500 grams of sugar per day to my diet, to my high-carb, low-fat diet. So this is a 90% carb diet with such a big surplus of sugar, pure refined sugar. Well, I use different kinds of sugar. There was white sugar, there was brown sugar, there was coconut sugar. It's all the same. Fructose and glucose together as sucrose. There's 32 videos in there. It's called Climbing Sugar Mountain. And in these 31 days, I haven't gained any weight whatsoever by having such a big surplus of carbs. But if you do that with a high-fat diet or a medium-fat diet, medium protein, etc., you're going to gain weight because excess fat is stored directly with no chemical transformation. And excess protein will increase the levels of insulin, which is good for gaining weight. But if you have a low-fat diet, a low-protein diet, a very high-carb diet, then the surplus of carbs will not be stored. It will be wasted as thermogenesis. Its proper name is adaptive thermogenesis. And your body adapts to the excess of carbs. It uses it for the cells in the brain, in the muscles. It uses it to thrive. The body also stores the extra carbs as energy, as glycogen in the liver and in the muscles. And this glycogen will be burnt short term. But what happens when you store extra fat? Well, it doesn't look great if you're overweight. And that excess fat in the adipose tissue will be burned long term. It takes such a long time to burn the fat. If you believe in calories in, calories out, then I could call you a CICO prisoner, like Harley calls them. You probably still don't believe me. You need to try it for yourself. You can first watch my videos that you see exactly what I'm doing with the chronometer calorie reports every day. I even include some blood tests in there. So it's full transparency. I show my weight, calories, everything, and there's a surplus of calories every day, and I keep doing the surplus of calories. Well, now I don't add 500 grams of sugar to my diet. I don't want that much of it. I'm happy with 100 grams of sugar per day, or sometimes even 200. And that's fine. I don't gain weight. You see, I've been on YouTube for so long. I know the CICO beliefs is very popular and people are prisoners of it. But why don't you try something different? You'll see for yourself. And I'm a woman. I would store the extra fat so easily if my thing was not working. But what is true is that any excess of fat will be stored so easily, especially in women, because we are designed to carry some extra energy and extra water retention very easily so that our body would be ready for a pregnancy. But I'm not interested in being pregnant. I'm not interested in being overweight. So I just have a high-carb, low-fat diet. Try it and get out of that CICO prison.